Okay, so for the tissue paper example, we've taken off the back or the bleeded or the tissue paper that was on here. It had dried, and now we're left with some pretty cool pink areas, magenta areas on our piece. You can choose to kind of emphasize those. You can choose to go in maybe adding a little bit more color. Maybe you want to blend in some color sticks. Take another color in there. The color sticks are pretty cool. They highlight some of that the texture from the paintbrush. We talked about that in the one example. Maybe just adding a little bit in there here, some areas. All right, so now at this point I could choose to add, you know, I could go back in and I could put some more paper on top of this, or I can just go ahead and start to add my my quote or my ideas, whatever I choose. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should I wonder if I should do a smaller quote, shorter one. I wrote down, if I go back to my beginning, I wrote down that I'm a teacher and I really care about my students and I really care about children. So maybe I should do something with that. This is a cool quote. Children see magic because they look for it. And I encourage you guys to look for those types of things in our classroom. I think maybe I'll go with that. And I like the butterfly symbol. So I'm going to think about how I could incorporate a butterfly into my puzzle piece and how I could add that text in there. Maybe I'll go and draw my body. Start that here. And continue those wings. To the side. I might need to come back and paint over this a little bit before I can add detail and really get it to be so that I could see whatever colors I add to my piece there. But I think I'm going to make magic kind of that big, maybe important part of this quote. And maybe we'll do like a cursive. So children see magic. I think I might just do it tiny. Because they look for it. And I might just put that person's name. think I'll make that a little smaller, but I think that's a good start that I have here. So at this point, I think I'm going to go back in, like I said, and add some white paint here or some gesso, and I'll come in and I'll start to work with the some black marker or black pen to define that lettering. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I am going to trace over my lettering first, and then I will go in and paint, put a little bit of white paint where I wanted to put that butterfly, and we'll go from there. So once I get my lettering where I want it, I'm going to use that just as a general guide for me. There'll be some black markers at your tables. I don't have any other colors, I think, that might be, you know, thin, but we could always look and see in the cabinets if you wanted a different color for your lettering. Some of you might even have some thin markers that you bring with you. So sometimes people ask me about my handwriting. Sometimes I just make it up as I go along. But I found, guess where, on Pinterest, I don't know if it was a tutorial or just somebody called it this, but they call it like faux calligraphy or fake calligraphy. And so I'm not very good at calligraphy, so this is my way of doing things. But usually on the downstroke, so this was, so maybe here I might thicken that up a little bit, but I'm going up here, and when I came down here, you noticed I made that a little thicker. So if you kind of use that rule of thumb, you can get some really cool results with that. And sometimes you know, I'll make like little extra things or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So sometimes I also try and find the center of things. I count letters. Is it perfect? No. Does it need to be perfect? No. I'm going to scooch this M over a little bit. And I might have a little bit of a problem with being able to see some of this pencil underneath, but I might be able to make it work to my advantage. Might have a happy accident on our hands. And we'll talk about those a lot this year, because it's important to just be able to be flexible. Remember, we got a rubber band in our care package. We talked about the importance of being flexible and kind of rolling with the punches. Sometimes we have to be flexible with our artwork and the techniques. Sometimes it's not so forgiving. And that's a little off center, but I'm okay with it. We're going to go with it. And I'm going to come in here. Alright, so I have that in there. I think I'm going to go back in and darken this up. Just put some hatching marks in there. Alright, I'm okay with that. I'm going to take a little bit of paint. Like this is not even, like this is way too much, but that's what came out of the bottle. So that's what we're going to go with. And I am going to just add now if you wanted to make the pink part of your butterfly wings, or you know, whatever it is that you are choosing to draw, that's fine. Do you have to draw anything on here? Nope. This is just what I decided to do. And I want to be able to, I think, to add some different color to this. So the purple and the pink got kind of dark. So I'm just going to cover that up a bit. And we'll go from there. Already that white paint is, or that pink is kind of peeking through that white paint, and I'm all right with it. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll come back to it and add some detail to the butterfly, and then I'll be done. And it's really pretty simple to create these puzzle pieces. It's not real involved. These aren't meant to take a long time. Probably, I would say, like 3 regular class periods. If you have a block day in there, it'll probably take you a block day and 1 regular class period. So that'll give you an idea of how to budget your time. Okay.